So have you ever wondered how many calories you actually burn playing? Like, not while you're in your practice room, but while you're actually at a gig. Like, you're sweating it out. How much do you burn? Because I know you've wondered that, right, Pete?
Oh, every day it crosses my mind.
it's something. For those of you that don't know, this is Mr. Pete Parada. He's a drummer for a little band called The Offspring. So they regularly play shows where they have to sweat it out like crazy. We've been sitting here talking about it. And so why don't you just tell us a little bit about your regular show?
A normal Offspring show is going to be between 23 songs. It's about 75 to 80 minutes long. And the BPM range is anywhere. I mean, we've got a couple songs near 100, but mostly we're up above 150, quite a few, 175, 180.
So that's the equivalent of jogging. Like, that's the equivalent of actually doing cardio.
Sometimes it feels like jogging in your seat. Yes.
Or yogging. The J is soft, right? So that's completely different than like what I do every day. Because what I do every day is I sit in the studio and look at the camera and teach. And some days I'll get a little bit of wet pits, But you're after show
we're sweating out. I come home if we're on a month-long tour, I'll come home down about 7 pounds.
So are you saying you're in better shape than I am?
No.
Is that what you?
I would no. You're way more ripped.
How much do you think I can squat, Pete?
2 of me.
How much? How much do you think my J-Los can push? How much? Two of you. I like how you're immediately like, 2. It's going to be 2 of me.
Yeah.
So if we average out his set time of 75 minutes, and then we kind of normalize some of this stuff, so he plays venues of about 10,000, and we average out the BPMs of what the typical song is in a set, you can actually come up with how many calories he's burning. If we factor in the number of songs that they usually do, which is 20 to 23, is that
yes.
right? Okay, and then we have his height, so it's going to be 5'8".
On a good, if I'm feeling real good about myself, standing up tall and 5'8".
Yeah. If my posture's perfect first thing in the morning, and you're 145, I don't want to.
Yeah.
So that's like 2 of what I can squat. So if we have that, and we can actually average all of that in and put it into some nerd formulas and actually come out with how many calories you burn per show. So if we average everything out, he's got a 75-minute set. He weighs about 145 pounds, about 5'8", give or take. If his posture's good, and then we can say, okay, well, average BPM for a show was going to be about a 150. You can go somewhere like Map My Run, and I put all these links below, and you can actually figure out how many calories are burned. So at that rate, that's the equivalent of running a 10-minute mile.
Which I cannot do.
Yeah. But yeah.
Just gonna put that out there.
I don't want to try it, so let's not. Because I was going to put that to the test, actually.
Oh, good, yeah.
So that's clocking about 7 miles a show. You're running about 6 miles per hour if we're averaging that out. I did 2 different tests. I did Map My Run, and that came out for a 75-minute set that you burned roughly 816 calories in a show. And then I said, well, maybe we should do something else. So I went to everydayhealth.com, and I actually found that you did 767 calories. So we can average that out to somewhere between 790 and 800 calories. So if you're roughly 145 pounds, you'd be burning about 650 calories an hour playing that size venue at that BPM. Now, just so you have a reference for like how in shape he is and how lousy shape I am, except for my squats, which I can do exactly 2 of Pete, then you can go to Discover Soccer. I've got the link below. You can actually see that is the same caloric burn rate as not just a like recreational kid soccer player, like a competitive soccer player. The thing about them, though, is they only are used to playing 2 games a week like that. They think that's a lot. And so 50 games a year for a competitive soccer team is a lot. Well, when you're on tour with an album cycle, what's your normal?
We're 5 shows a week, probably 100 shows a year.
So that's twice what a competitive soccer player is. So am I saying he's in better shape than the World Cup team? You never heard me say that, but...
I don't have a trophy, though.
See, you don't have and that's the theme. That's what's missing is you should talk to them about maybe getting you a trophy like, hey, Pete, here's this.
Can I just have the World Cup trophy for like a week this year because I feel I've earned it?
At every show, you can just like point to it. This is what I'm doing.
Take that, Ronaldo. Is he still?
Is he? I don't know.
I don't know.
So I know that not all of your songs, and you've played with several groups. So you have punk group Face to Face. That you're still playing with them?
No, just Offspring, and I played with Devo a couple years ago, and but mostly my main gig is Offspring.
Is the Offspring? Okay, so like, what's one of the quicker songs you guys play with that?
For Offspring, All I Want is about 179. And Bad Habit is, I want to say, in the 160 range. Up around 180.
So y'all are moving like most of the show, and y'all don't take many breaks in between songs. What are your breaks like in between songs?
I don't get a break. We start the show, and I have a bottle of water that sits next to me. And at the end of the night, my drum tech is like, "You didn't even open it." It's like, I have no time.
Didn't get a chance.
We got about 2 or 3 times during the set. We'll stop for a minute or two, and they'll talk to the crowd. But we really like to keep, they got a lot of songs, and we got to kind of cram all of them in. So we try to keep the show moving along. There's not a lot of...
And that's what's crazy, too, because if you think about, like, if we're going to compare this to a sporting event, like, if you think about that, soccer players just play 45-minute halves. Then they get, half an hour to, chill out and take a break, and they don't hash it out in 75 minutes.
Yeah, no, we just power through. So, I think for the best. For me, if we take a break, even at a rehearsal, if we're having like a long day of rehearsal and we get through the whole set once, and we take a break and have lunch, we come back, my arms have tightened up.
Right.
Like, if I don't keep moving, I get stiffened up. So I would rather just knock it all out.
Right.
But I can understand how athletes get used to the coming and the going. I'm just used to the nonstop barrage.
The nonstop. See, he's in better shape than you. Who's a famous soccer player? We said Ronaldo, but is he even still?
I don't know.
This is sad that we don't even. I love sports ball. It's my
Beckham.
favorite. Beckham? Yes,
Yeah.
Beckham. But see, he looks too good.
Yeah,
so it's
I
like,
know. I can't
compare yourself to him because I can't squat to him.
He's just too handsome.
They actually did tests on the drummer Clem Burke. He played for Blondie. They found out that 90 minutes of drumming could raise his heart rate to as high as 190 beats per minute. I thought that maybe my calculations were wrong, and so I just checked it with that study and found that Clem burns between 400 and 600 calories per show with Blondie. So if you're regularly playing a show with any band and you're sweating it out, and maybe that's in small venues, because we talked, sometimes the small venues are the worst.
They are the worst.
Because it can be, the crowd's pumped in with you, 200 to 300 people, and it's smaller, and sometimes the air doesn't work.
Or they don't want to turn it on.
Because they don't have the funds for the air.
Yeah.
And so sometimes the smaller shows can actually be a lot worse than the bigger shows. You got a little bit more airflow. You can check out the study that Dr. Smith did at Chichester University. I put the link below. The next time you have a show, if you happen to skip cardio, that's okay because you're going to burn it off at the show. If you like what we talked about in this video, give it a thumbs up, share it with another drummer you think it could help. As well, go check out Pete's YouTube channel. We put all the links below. We've also got his Facebook, his Twitter, his Instagram. Go follow him. You'll get to see some cool show footage and kind of get a bird's eye view of what he gets to do every day, which is really cool stuff. As well, if you want to hang out, you can go jump over to Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or here on YouTube. Hang out with me. Don't forget to sign up for the email list. The link is below. I put on all kinds of cool lesson goodies every week. If you're looking to get better at your drumming on a daily basis, jump over to the website, check out the program we have there. I guarantee it will help you improve on a daily basis. But no matter what you do, I will see you here in the next video.